So there's a lot of ways to get gear right now through farming spawns such as Sun, Mercy, the Gorilla, or chest runs, but which one is actually worth your time? Well, in this video, I'm breaking down all the strategies which each one gives you and why certain ones are best at certain things. So without further ado, let's start off with everyone's favorite, the old classic Tower of the Sun, aka the starting farm location, or where we came from, our roots. Well, while you're at the Tower of the Sun, what exactly can it drop there? Well, it can't drop jewelry. Technically it can, but it's so low we say it's impossible. What it can drop are 2 perk pieces, such as this gloves here, where it drops sacrificial empowerment and strike conditioning. Then it'll drop a gem slot, and then 2 charm slots. This is relatively good for armor, but nothing else. So if you want to look for your weapon or your jewelry, the Tower of Sun is not a good location. It does have a pretty high spawn rate, however, so it is nice in terms of loot per minute, but it just doesn't give you good enough loot, in my opinion, that is worth your time. The next one people have been talking about is the Mercy Readout farm. This one can drop 3 per gear, so something similar to my greatsword here. We get trench and strikes, shock, and then a gem, which is very good for a greatsword, but not best in slot just yet, but I'm getting there. But it can also drop you 2 perks, so it can also drop you stuff like these gloves here with 1-2 pieces. So solid gear all around, and bonus, it can drop you jewelry. So why doesn't more people not go to Mercy? Because the spawn rates just aren't hitting like they are in the other locations. You can definitely get the best pool of gear there, in my opinion, out of the 3 AFK spots on the map, where you pretend like you're helping your group kill the boss, but in reality you're sipping on your morning coffee, having your donut, and watching your team do all the hard work. Let's be honest, I know who you are. The major downside of Mercy Readout, though, is just the spawn rates are too low to make it worth my time, so that's why I head down to the 3rd AFK spot, the Gorilla. It's time to kill King Kong, boys, so let's grab our bananas and let's head over and kill a monkey. There, it can drop both 3 perks and 2 perk gear. So just like my gloves and my weapons here, that's what it can drop. The only downside of King Kong is the fact that, well, you can't really drop jewelry. So if you're looking for jewelry, that's not the place to go. But the spawn rate is very high, and I'm saying if you're looking for a weapon or some good armor, the Gorilla is definitely the place to be. This is actually where I got my greatsword, was just AFK farming the Gorilla. So in quick turn, let's rank the AFK ones, and we'll move on to the chest runs. I would say Gorilla is number 1 and the one you definitely want to be doing. After that, I would say Mercy Readout will be number 2, as it can drop a nice chunk of jewelry. And Tower of the Sun is just the worst, as it can only really drop armor, but it's good if you're starting out and you don't know where else to go. Now that we got the 3 AFK spots out of the way, let's break down the chest runs, as chest runs are extremely important for your gear grind, even more than the AFK ones. So what can chests drop? Well, they can drop these insane broken and fixed perks. Let's use my Enrage Hunt. Exiting a dot with 20 more stamina while Enrage will consume 4 stacks to trigger a 3.5 radius AoE that will pull in nearby enemies. Think of this as a mini grab well. Every time I roll towards someone's booty, I suck them drier than a Tinder date. That is exactly what these pants will do. So rolling these in fixed perks are extremely valuable. Like very, very good for your builds, especially when it comes to mid to late game. This is why I highly recommend doing chest runs right now, as if you can get a good piece, just a solid piece with the infixed perk, a gem slot, and then some nice perks on top of that, you are golden and you will be locked in for the rest of season 10. But how do I know which test runs to do, as only certain ones drop in fixed perks? Well, let me break down the best ones so you don't waste your time doing the useless ones. 1, I would always recommend doing your CK run. This is not only for your doubloons, but this has a lot of good chests along the way. Plus, it's just solid for loot density. After that, I would say come over here to Nighthaven. The night run is extremely valuable. Lots of chests, lots of mobs, plus it's, in my opinion, the most beautiful one out of all the chest runs in the entire game. Plus, who doesn't love killing some vampires? Bonus tip, if you guys want to get 2 extra elite chests, make sure you bring in your Fool's Sight potion. This will allow you to do a jumping puzzle, netting you 2 more chests across the board. After that, I would say Merc would be your next go-to chest run. This one has a lot of good stuff, as the elite mobs, I believe, can also drop certain fixed perks. And then finally, you would want to do Requanner Sirens down here and Pools up here. Pools is definitely the weakest one, as it only, I think, has 2 to 3 drops for the entire pool, but it's relatively short. So that is a upside. And then if you want to solo a chest run, no one ever does this, Nightbreak Roost is another very good one. This one has quite a few spawns for fixed perks, so I highly recommend doing this one as well. I have a full video breaking this one down, looking for fixed perks. So what exactly does chest run gives beside infixed perks? Well, it can give you a plethora of other things, such as good jewelry, good armor, good weapons. It gives you everything. That's the main upside of chest runs. They give you everything in the entire game, plus they're the best source of umbral shards or umbral crystals. So if you haven't hit your weekly cap yet, chest runs are the best way to do this. The only major downside of doing chest runs, well, you don't get as much loot as fast, and you actually have to play the game. Imagine that, playing an MMO in 2025. Now that's just crazy talk. By the way, you can also do IMP, the bonus one over here, Ebb and Scale. This one's a little longer, so I don't think it's as worth it as the other one, but this one can also drop infixed perks. Alright, with chest runs out of the way, next up we have the PvP track in Catacombs. Let's do the PvP track first, as this one's actually dropping some insane gear right now. And if you love PvP, I would just say, you know what, just lock it in on the PvP track. Spam your OPRs, your 3v3s, your CTFs, whatever you love, as this thing is dropping some disgusting gear. First, let's do the OPR box unboxing. I don't want a rapier, so let me put away my rapier. If I open this bad boy up, I'll get a greatsword here with a double perker. No triple perker, kind of sad. But here, I'll get a piece of gear, quad perker. Now that's a W, boys. So, translation, these boxes can give you anywhere between 2 pieces to 4 pieces of gear, meaning you can get almost best in slot just by PvPing alone. Plus, this gives you access to 4 perk earrings. I haven't gotten one yet, but God, when I do, bro, I will be salivating at the mouth. So it's time to grease up, boys, and head into the PvP arena. Make sure you bring some lube just in case some things happen. But I highly recommend doing PvP for the 4 perk drops. Plus, it can also drop set bonuses. I believe the Tenacity, the Healer set, and maybe the Stifling set drops from there as well. Meaning you can get some very good gear across the board. And if you don't like doing chest runs, you don't like AFK farming, you just want a PvP, just lock in the PvP. You got a bunch of good things in there right now. And there's really no downside in PvPing, and this actually gives you really good loot across the board. Now for the final one, we have Kata. Old Kata. Kata gives you access to set bonuses like this, the Tomb Raider. Overcharge set here, which will be mandatory in my opinion, come PvE builds, as this gives you 15 to 25% increased base damage when it's fully stacked, allowing you to nuke bosses left and right. Let's say you're not looking for the overcharge set, and you want to know just for the pure and utter gear loadout, well, should I be doing Kata for gear? Kata gives you very good 2 perk drops, as it can drop stuff like my gloves, exactly where I got them from. Sacrifice, gem, 2 offensive, very strong. But if you're looking to farm Kata, I would say you want to avoid Kata, unless you just enjoy doing it, unless you can kill 5 bosses plus. 5 bosses plus, you get way more rewards than 4, it's like almost double. Therefore, if you're only killing 4, you have to do 2 runs just to match someone who's doing 5. And then I believe it's the same between 5 and 6, but 6 is much sweatier. So I would say if you can do 5, you should be doing Kata. If you can't hit 5 consistently, I'd recommend just waiting to get better gear so you can start nuking those 5 boss runs. I've gotten a 5 boss run. We almost gotten 6, but somebody messed up the route, and we sadly had to... We lost 90 seconds. Otherwise, we probably could have gotten 6 bosses. If you guys want to see my Catacomb build, how we did it, our strategy, I can post the full video if you guys want. Let me know down in the comments below. The Kata allows you to open up a box per gear. So if I want only gloves, I can buy like 50 boxes for my gloves and then only go gloves. Translation allows you to definitely min-max what loot you need after doing these chest runs. And these AFK farming spot, it's kind of like filling the holes in your build. Like if I need this, I can roll this. If I need that, I can roll that. That's what Kata is going to be very good for. Bonus tip, if you are doing chest runs, I highly recommend getting some luck gear along with some rabbit feet. These are mandatory, I believe. I know you don't like eating feet. Maybe you don't have a foot fetish, but my guy definitely does. And that's why he loves eating his defiled rabbit foot before every chest run that has an infixed perk. This will increase the infixed perk drop rate, by the way. You should be bringing this everywhere you go. And then you also should have luck gear. I'll make a full guide breaking down luck, so you don't have to worry about that. And with that, boys, if you guys did enjoy the video or found this helpful, mean a lot to you, smash the like button and subscribe. And become a YouTube channel member and support your boy further. If there's any new updates on the luck, gear, or the farming routes, I'll make sure to let you know.